Okay, so this is a popular demand video. This is all the equipment that I use to shoot either a competition or in training. Before I start, I will say that I've been shooting for 5.5 years now. And throughout that 5.5 years, I have cultivated a performance journal, which I now have for sale. There'll be a link below and instructions on how to use it here. It really does help you improve your archery and get to it helps you avoid repeating the same mistakes. Highly useful. I'd recommend it. Even if you don't use mine, I would definitely get yourself one. Okay, so let's go through my kit. Okay, so we're going to start with my competition bow. So the riser is a Formula XI riser. I'm running a Beiter plunger button, Shibuya Ultima rest, and a Beiter clicker. Now the limbs are Velos long, 46 pounds. I'm pulling about 50 pounds back on my fingers. The V-bar that I've got attached to this one is a Shrewd Atlas. I have a limb dampener on the top, but not on the bottom because it fell off. Now these little things here are Shrewd threaded dampeners. They just take out the residual vibration from the limbs. Really good, makes the bow nice and quiet. Okay, so the brace height is 9.25 inches through the middle. There is a 6mm difference between the top and the bottom, and that is my tiller, 6mm. Okay, so this is my practice riser. Looks very similar to my competition riser, but it's slightly different. This is the Formula X riser, so obviously it doesn't have the variable string technology that the XI riser has. These are 50-pound limbs, so I'm pulling around 53, 54 pounds on the fingers. Again, they have the same Beiter plunger button, they have the Shibuya Ultima rest and the Beiter clicker, along with the Shrewd Atlas V-bar. Again, I have the limb dampeners on top and bottom because it hasn't fallen off, which is fun. This is for the Astra shot trainer. I'll go through that in another video, why it's a chain link and not a cord. The string is a 32 strand Mercury from Podium Bowstrings. I am sponsored by Podium Bowstrings. I really enjoy using them. I've tried Nitro and I've tried Rain, and they didn't quite work for me. I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm saying they didn't work for me. Podium have always worked for me, so I keep using them, and I was lucky enough that Sonny decided he wanted me as part of the team, which was brilliant for me. I'm actually trying to use a I'm not sure if you can see this here. Can we get it in? Can we get it in frame? This is one of the Beiter serve-in nocks. Because if you followed my England series, I had some problems up and down with the knocking point constantly shifting, and I couldn't figure out why. So what I've tried to do at the moment is I've tried to serve in my knocking point, and when I come to my arrows, you'll be able to see that I use the Beiter knocking points, and they just fit perfectly. Brilliant. So that is the competition bow I use. One thing I did forget to mention is that the grip that I'm running is a Jaeger signature. Signature Collection Brady Ellison grip. I like the grip. It's got a great reference. It's got a piece of decking on it, so I can get the right pressures. Really good. I'll put a link in the description below. I've not tried anything else, so that's something I need to go and explore. Sights. I'm using a Axcel Achieve RXL with a Shrewd Flex scope here and a Beiter aperture here. So they're the two that I use, one for indoors, one for out. I sometimes also like the Axcel Chef signature scope. Really like this one, especially when it's when the lighting allows for it. One thing I do like about the Axcel Achieve is how easy it is to change out sight pins. That's one of the reasons I chose it, because if you look at some of the others, it's a big housing unit, and it's like, I think it's like 80 quid to just be able to swap them out nice and easy. That is just a tiny little metal, slides it in, grooves in, and it's done, and it's really good. I do recommend the Axcel achieve. Now, stabilizers. Let's talk stabilizers. So I've got the Shrewd Revels. I believe these are 14 inches with a 32-inch long rod, 3 ounces on the back and 7 ounces on the front. This is my lighter setup. I often run light stabilizers when I am weightlifting, when I'm doing a lot of strength work. At the moment I've just started a complete new weightlifting cycle, and I'm having to go back to these because if I use my other ones, my arm's about to drop off. Now, my other set is a set of Rev X. These are 15 inch. This is 30 inch long rod. I'm currently running 11 on the back and 16 on the front. Most of the weights are tungsten, but there are some steel weights in there. I am currently using the Hoyt field quiver. I have 2 of those. I have one in red and one in whatever colour you describe that as. I've heard it described as many different colours. But I do enjoy them. I do like them. I like the feel of them. I think they fit well. The only discrepancy I have with them is that I have had to masking tape the bottom of both of them for when the arrows go through. So maybe put something down there to protect your quiver if you end up getting one. Arm guard, standard, Beiter, arm guard, dead simple. Finger tab. The finger tab I use is a Fairweather. It's a 23 diameter with the steel pro plate. I'm actually using 4 pieces of kangaroo leather in there. I have had the AAE Elite finger tab. I enjoyed that one. That one was good. I enjoyed it. The KSL brass one. That one was really, really good. I did like that one. This one, I wanted something a little bit lighter and with a low maintenance. So this has got 1 screw. So you just make sure 1 screw is tight and you're all way to go, and that's it. Whereas something like the KSL Gold, you've got about 30 different screws to make sure it's all tight every single time. And good tab, but I definitely prefer the Fairweather. So I've got 2 of these. 1 spare, 1 not. Now, arrows. Who's got the arrows? I am currently shooting a Easton X10 380 spine at about 31 inches, 31.5 maybe. I picked the only one without a knock. So I'm using a number 2 pin knock Beiter. I've got red ones, I've got blue ones. Colour's not really important. The fletchings, I'm using the Spider Veins soft, essentially the 702 model, which is what Brady shot the 702 with. 380 spine, tungsten points, 100 grain, just because that's what I like. I group very well with these. They're quite nice. You know, I've not had any problems with these, so I've not needed to change. So anytime I just replenish my arrows. Ideally, I could probably go and explore different types of arrows, but that's very, very financially unviable. Arrows are very expensive, so if you find something you like, personally I'd advise you stick with it. In terms of fletchings, I have gone through XS wings, which I do really, really like. I think XS wings are a really, really good starting point if you want to do those. I've done the Jet 6 vanes, which I did not like at all. They didn't group for me. They weren't... The science behind it is sound. It's really, really good, but they just didn't... They didn't do what I wanted them to do. I've not checked them since... I think on year 3 of my journey, I used them, and I've not looked at them since, so maybe they would work a bit better for me now, but I've not gone back. Which is another thing, as you change your form, as you get better, as you improve, there are some pieces of equipment that you might need to revisit, because maybe they were designed for a certain skill level to get the maximum benefit out of them. I don't know, it's just speculation. But yes, definitely recommend XS wings if you're a beginner, and Spider Veins are brilliant. I started using Spider Veins and I've gone back to them twice. So I'm not sponsored by Spider Veins. I just like them. So that's my recommendation. There are a couple of other essential items that I would have in my bag or my field quiver or my or my case. Spare strings are essential. Always make sure you've got a spare string and it's shot in. Allen key wrenches, make sure you've got a set of imperial and metric, not just for yourself, but there are other people kicking about who will desperately need one, and if you can help out, then that's just good for you. That's just nice. On days when the sun is really in my face, I have a set of X-Sight shooting glasses with a selection of lenses. I find them very useful. If you want to go and check them out, there will be a link in the description below. I also have a rangefinder. It's not necessary, it's not needed, they're not always accurate, but it does help from time to time. So if you've got a spare, I mean, I picked mine up secondhand for like 30 quid, so you know, if you can find a decent deal, it's worth having one in. Stretching bands are a must for warm-ups. If you have your own specific warm-up that requires different equipment, make sure you take that. A deck of cards. A deck of cards is insanely useful in an archery bag because 1, you can play cards. 2, you can play cards with other people. And 3, it makes a brilliant training tool because if you shoot head to head, all you've got to do is just deal yourself 3 cards and you've got to beat whatever 3 cards are put in front of you. If you use the royals as a 10, you know, then you can use that as head-to-head drills, which is really, really good. But that's it in terms of equipment. I hope you found something useful. I hope you found your next purchase. If it has been useful, let other people know. If it's not been useful, let everyone else know. Either way, I hope you enjoy shooting.